right, hello and welcome to another Star Wars Unlimited YouTube video from the Nordic Takedown podcast. So, I am so humble. I'm here today with another video about this store. Now it's the tournament season, so next tournament video here with the Västerås Store Showdown rundown that I was going to, and I was playing Bossk Blue. That might come as a surprise for many, since I claim to not really be a fan of hard control. So why Bossk Blue? So we have to kind of go back a week. I was actually at another store showdown that I didn't do a video about because it didn't go great. Like, there was not a lot to make content about. I went 2-2 with Quinlan. A Quinlan that I had updated, of course, was tight. Both my losses was 2-1s, and I didn't make the top cut. So that with all, like, I had a lot of time issue as well, so that factored into why I didn't do a video about that. But I wanted to at least inform that I did that and failed miserably. So I wanted to play something new for this tournament, like trying something else. So I was actually grinding a lot of Ray Data Vault and Anakin Blue, just trying to actually get some other deck to work. Sorry for the yawn. And they worked for me at certain times, but in the end of the week they worked really, really bad. I didn't get them to work really as consistent as I wanted, and like on Friday I was like, and the Saturday was the tournament, I was like, it's not really working. Maybe I should just try something that I'm not used to anyway, because it's probably gonna go mediocre anyway. So I decided to, like, I never play hard control, so I was like, okay, let's do it. So I took the Thork's list as a base. It turned out I don't have all the cards for the list. I had to make a little bit difference. Also, I did some difference for my personal liking. And huge shout out to Thork's video in depth about Bossk Blue that I put on the car drive down to the tournament, which actually led me to make a change or two in the deck list on the road, which is quite fortunate that you can do that in a showdown, because in a bigger tournament you might have already submitted, right? So if you're interested in like the Bossk Blue deck, go watch that video, and it's very insightful. And it was a fast crash course for me. Like, I played two or three games Friday evening, won them, and like just went. Obviously, I know Thork has talked a lot about the Bossk Blue. We're in the same testing group, so I have a lot of theory behind the Bossk Blue, and I've always tested a lot against it, but for tournaments before, so I know in theory how it should work, but hard control has never really been what's been working for me. So that's why I decided to try it out, right? So this is the list that I ended up going with. I was suspecting a lot of Data Vault, so that's why I main decked 2 Champs and Dullas and have 1 in the sideboard. I have probably given away a few of the I'm Your Fathers, so I could only find 1, so that's why I put in 2 Pillages. Other than that, it's quite similar to Thork. Like, I think he ran 3 Perilius. I only ran 2 in here. There is some small differences. But this is basically the list. You want to control the game. Sometimes you want to win by mill. Sometimes you want to win by just beating them with the Crate Dragon and Devastator. So yeah, nothing too fancy about the list. I guess the Pillages are the most fancy thing, and they were okay. Like, every card in this deck actually saw play. Might not have played the Confiscates actually, but I put them in and didn't draw them in the matchup I wanted. So, but everything felt like it had value. So this is the Swiss rounds round and the top cut. Swiss rounds, it was round 1 Sabine ECL 2-0, which is a very good matchup for Bossk Blue. I used to not think it before. Played a bit about with Thork and tested about it, and he just told me how to play that matchup, and it's actually quite starting to be quite easy when you play it correctly. Obviously, Sabine is so strong that she can win anyway in a lot of circumstances, but with that knowledge, it was pretty, like, I felt comfortable in my 2-0 win. My opponent in that first round, she managed to 3-0 for the rest of the tournament and also made the top cut actually. Then in round 2, one of my in a way funnier games was against Piet Red, 2-0. We had a really nice time playing that game. I think maybe he could have won game 1 if he was playing the planetary bombardment some more aggressively. But in the end, it was a 2-0, and I think I am favored here, assuming things doesn't go like completely out the window. Then I played up against Kira Daravold in round 3. He managed to mill my restock with the Vigilance in game 1, and I actually forgot that I had Bounty Hunter Crew in the deck when it comes to the end game, so I just scooped to go into the next game, drew it in the beginning of game 2, and I was like, oh yeah, I still had this one. I could have just drawn back my restock and fought that game 1. Not saying I would have won that anyway. Managed to actually win game 2, and we had 7 minutes left to start game 3, so we decided like nobody here is going to win in 7 minutes, so we took a draw. It was going to be a draw anyway. Into round 4, I got to play Boba Yellow, which is actually a pretty good deck into control, because control decks don't necessarily put in out a lot of threats, and if you can't deal with that pilot deployment, it's gonna go real fast. I lost game 1. I had a very good start, but I allowed him to do the one thing he's not supposed to do or allowed to do, put Boba on a spaceship, and I didn't have like a super laser blast or something in hand to actually deal with it in an efficient way. And like even if you do that, it's still gonna be 2 or 3 hits. So even though I was in a great position with a big Child's End and like just double claimed with Bossk, and I think I even had a client, but just didn't matter. In game 2 and 3, it was a lot better for me. I managed to control the space lane all the way. Never got to have 2 ships in there. Not sure if he could have played it differently. He refused to deploy Boba on ground, just wanted it to be on space. I think it would have been harder if he actually did a deploy on ground at some point, but I think I would have won those 2 games either way. So moving in to the top cut, Palpatine Daravold. So there was a lot of green decks here. Was even an Iden Daravold as well. So there was like Kira, Iden, and Palpatine Daravold, and I think there was, and of course Piet is green as well. So there was a lot of ramp during the day. Game 1 was a very like easy affair. Game 2, I made a very big mistake of resourcing an open fire in the opening hand, and as soon as I had done it and said I was ready, I felt like, oh, I'm gonna get punished by this. He's probably gonna play Poggle. He played Poggle, and Poggle made like 4 units that game. It was so difficult to actually get back that board and force Palpatine out of cards. So that game dragged on for a long time. Fortunately for me, he didn't play Endless Legion in the deck because we got to those resource numbers. But in the end, I actually won 2-0. And then the final was Kira Daravold again. It's the same guy, Elias, that I played in round 3. We drew that game. And this is probably one of the most insane games in a way that I have ever played. Not necessarily in the way that it was like shifting back and forward. Sorry. But in a way that like this is a 75-minute game. and we managed to only play basically. We played two and a half games, but game one, like 40 minutes in, we end up in a situation where we have 26 damage. I have 26 damage on my base. I think it was, or 24, maybe 24. So I died to 6, and he was at 27, and no cards in either player's deck, which means that we both die of fatigue at the same time. But he has vigilance on hand, but he can't play it because I have restock. So if and I can play restock because he has vigilance. So we end up in a situation where he needs to pass, and I can't do anything because I can't play restock as long as his 6 resources are open. So I have to pass, which means 40 minutes in, it's a tie, which means this game doesn't count. So then we have 35 minutes to play a best of 3, which of course is impossible with this matchup. So in game 2, I get out a Crate Dragon with a client when we come to the later stages, and he has no really good answer to it. So he tries Palpatine's Return into Avenger and is not aware of that. That means that you get to do damage for the Avenger and the Palpatine's Return. So I just put that on his face. My client dies, and I slam another Crate Dragon, which means any way he wants to remove those, it just won't work. And I actually also had the money to play another unit, so he couldn't Avenger and kill just one of the crates either. So he loses that game. That only takes like 20 minutes, so we actually start game 3, but it ends in the middle of it. It's not even close to be decided. I think I have 7 damage on base or something, or if it was he. So that was a very cool series in a way. I've never gone to time in a Top Cut. I have gone to time in the 55 minutes rounds a lot of times, but not in the Top Cut. I was very close once in the Han Yellow Mirror. But that was very, very interesting. Very, very fun games. So I went undefeated on the day. Only took a draw. Only dropped like 2 individual games. So very satisfied with like how it went, since I don't really play this deck in general, or not even the style. So was playing hard control fun? Yeah, it was pretty fun, I must say. Did I feel dirty? Absolutely. Like, I think it's you feel quite dirty, keep removing, and then from nowhere you just either win by mill, or I think that feels the most dirty. But like, and then you put them in a checkmate with Crate Dragons. I think it is both fun and dirty and in the same time. I have not enjoyed playing this before, but somehow I do now. Maybe it's like a development in me, or just because I love winning. Everything that wins becomes fun. I even like ordered a showcase Bossk after this, because I felt like I might play Bossk again at some point. We'll see. Like, even Bossk Dadavalt has been on my mind. So I think this was really, really fun. Final thoughts more than that is that I need to really like look into more matchup specific, right, and learn a lot more matchups here, because this is a total new world for me, since I'm a basically more mid-range player that leans into go to aggro more than into the control side. So I think blue and red are my most favorite colors. Like, I really enjoy playing Anakin. I really enjoy playing Rey when that was out. Of course, like, my best results is with yellow. I think yellow is also really, really fun. But I think blue and I think red always, it feels like you miss something when you play red and don't have blue, and when you play blue and don't have red, I feel like you're missing something. So I think yellow is a great color, probably the best, but this is where I have kind of the most fun. So I will definitely not drop it from nowhere. We'll see if that is a deck that I will continue with more this set for the PQs later this month, but next month, I mean, for me. But yeah, that was basically it for me. Bossk Blue, a lot more pleasant experience than I thought, but still dirty. Still felt dirty. Thank you for watching, and may the force be with you all.